Credit cards are such a polarizing topic. You'll hear one end of the spectrum say, credit cards are the best. Use the points. Use the points. Get the points. Get the cash back. And then you'll hear the other end of the spectrum say, they're the devil. Don't use them. Throw them out. Cut them out. Never apply. However, is there somewhere in the middle? Well, here are 7 lies that actual people have told me about credit cards that I want you to prove the truth. So let's find some truth and let's find it now. Alright, the first school of thought. Credit cards are bad, inherently bad, and they're not inherently good nor bad. Let me tell you why. They can be used, like sometimes. I applied for a credit card recently. It was spend $1,000 within 3 months, which is quite easy, and get $150 back in statement credit. So I thought to myself, if I just switch some recurring bills from a normal credit card onto this new one for 3 months, I'll have 150 bucks. So that's where this camp, they're good. Now, they can be a super big temptation. If you don't have a lockdown budget, a zero-based budget, which means every soldier, every dollar has a place to go and defend or attack, depending on what's happening. If you don't feel very comfortable with discipline in regards to money, credit cards may not be a good idea. Not to say they're bad, because they're not. We just talked about an example that they are. However, maybe for your situation right now, having a credit card may not be in your best interest. However, the only way you can really overcome that is to become disciplined. And that doesn't just happen from praying to the Holy Lord or, it being bestowed upon you. It happens from putting yourself in uncomfortable situations to grow. So maybe it's applying for a credit card, getting one with a very small limit, and using it once a month just to show yourself that you can have that discipline. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's being an authorized user on someone's card and making sure they hold you accountable. You got to put systems in place to where you're going to succeed. You don't want to put systems in place that are going to make you fail. So put a system in place, whatever it may be, a physical person, a reminder that's going to remind you to be disciplined. With that accountability, you will become disciplined, and I will be very happy for you. Credit cards have no benefits. Okay, well, let's break that down. No benefits. Well, what do you mean by benefits exactly? Well, that would be a good starting point. Now, there's a couple of benefits. Some are travel points you can redeem when you're traveling places or flying different airlines. Some are cash back. Some are points. Some are gift cards. There's a variety of different ways. I'm not going to go into all of them for the sake of this breve video. However, there are definitely some benefits. For instance, my internet bill every single month is about, I don't know, between $80 and $100. I forget exactly. Let's say it's $100. $100 a month. So I can pay with credit card with no penalty, with no extra fee, and I receive 1.5% cash back. So yeah, it's only $1.50, but do it for 5 years. It's actually a decent amount of money. Another benefit that's not really financial per se, I was in Mexico quite a few years ago, and I bought some Levi's jeans. Not because I wanted to buy them, but because I arrived in Mexico with all my outfits, and I only brought a pair of basketball shorts, a pair of shorts to sleep in. Dummy. So I went to the Levi's outlet in Mexico thinking, oh, this is probably going to be nice. I walk in and buy a couple and realize after I do the conversion, which I should have done before, being a silly boy, I just spent like $60 on each pair of jeans, about $120. And I thought to myself, $60 for a pair of jeans? Which may not seem like a lot. However, I already have 7 or 8 pairs at home. It is a lot of money. So I thought to myself, I'll just take it back and deal with wearing shorts every single day. I go back to the store and communicate in Spanish that I want to take them back. I just bought them yesterday. It's not going to work out. They then tell me, oh, you can only exchange. You cannot return for money. And I thought to myself, that's weird. So it's this American Express card, and I look into the benefits thinking there's got to be some recourse to this because this is ridiculous. I bought them 1 day ago. Long story short, they have a return policy, return program. So you file a claim through American Express and literally tell them, I bought these jeans, here's the receipt, they won't take them back. Within 3 days, guess what? The money's back in my account, meaning They refunded the money, and and here's the benefit of all: I get to keep the jeans, and I still have them. So always double check. I've heard the same thing work on telephones. So if you buy a $500 phone, let's say, 500. If you buy a $900 phone, for instance, and you put it all in one card, and you like shatter the screen or break it of some nature, they'll actually reimburse and buy you a new phone. And that's pretty sweet. So look into those benefits, because those benefits are, in my opinion, even greater than the cashback benefits. Making the minimum payment helps your credit score. Yeah, I guess it does to an extent, because your utilization is being paid down. However, that's a very one-dimensional way of looking at it. Let's bring it panorama. Keeping your utilization, which means if you have a $1,000 credit limit, you want to keep it $300 or below all the time. 1/3 approximately, 30%. And the reason you do that is because, again, that shows responsibility, that you're not using everything they're giving you. You're using a decent amount, so you're being responsible and you're paying it off at different segments, different times. And if you have to make that under 30% each month, pay it off twice a month. Pay it off once a week. I do it once a month personally, because everything's on auto pay and I really don't feel like going through all those credit cards and making multiple payments. But I always stay under that 30% threshold, and that's really important. Closing accounts I'm not using will help my credit. Wrong, just completely wrong, completely wrong. Credit history is a factor when it comes to your credit score, comes to everything. You don't want to open up a credit card or credit account of some nature and close it. Keep them open. There's Unless they have an annual fee, then I would recommend closing them if you don't use the card. However, I have a credit card since I was 18 years old that I use probably once a year. However, I can see all that history that has accumulated over these years. It's good, paid history. That is invaluable. That is something very, very important, that if you close that account, for me, it would be 7 years of credit history gone in the blink of an eye. And I don't want that. The credit history is very important, and closing accounts actually may hurt your score. Using a credit card makes me spend less cash. I've heard this from even finance bloggers, and it's just so... Ugh. It makes me sick. It makes me want to puke, honestly. Maybe, though, you may be the anomaly, so you may be the small percentage who can have that discipline. However, here's a transaction when you're buying something. So, alright, so we take the dollar. We go buy, I don't know, a stick of gum. What can I buy $1? So we take $1. So you give the dollar to the cashier, and they give you back change, which is less than $1, right? Our brain wiring says that dollar, purchase item, less money. That's what our brain says. Alright, let's use the other example now. You give a credit card to the clerk. What do they give you back? The credit card. Our brain does not see that as an actual transaction. We receive the same credit card back. We would take the item and we go. So in reality it was free, right? No. Absolutely not. However, we don't make the connection in our brain that that actually happened. We are lessened than that. So if you think you spend cash quicker, I would encourage you to track everything and do it for 1 month cash, 1 month card, and if you can spend less on your card, props to you. You've beat the game. The more money I charge on my card, the higher my score goes. Oh my goodness. This is why financial education is so important. So important for young people and old people. Like, it's so preposterous, the things I hear sometimes. No. 30% threshold utilization, use that rule, and don't go higher. That's what's going to help. Pay on time, keep your accounts open, don't open too many accounts too fast, and I feel like I've heard it all. I have heard it all. My goodness. Rich people never use credit cards. Really? So when their assistant is booking them a flight across the USA, do they pay in cash? No. My philosophy is this. If things can be paid in cash, I pay in cash. If things, like my internet for instance, can't be paid in cash, then I use a credit card. I don't think about it, I just do it. Spending energy and stressing about whether you're going to use cash or a credit card is a bad use of energy. Ask this one question. Can it be paid in cash? If the answer is yes, use the cash and be done with it. However, if it doesn't, use the credit card and be done with it. Don't stress too hard about it. And also, when you're using credit cards for business purposes, it makes tax time a hell of a lot easier because you actually have a record of everything. And sometimes cash purchases, it's hard to remember the exact amount. So, credit card is useful there. Those are the lies I've heard personally. I'm sure there's so many more. What have you guys heard about lies about credit cards? They're either the devil or the greatest thing ever, right? Or are they somewhere in the middle? I think they're somewhere in the middle. They can be used for good things and can be used for preposterous, very destructive things. But comment below. I want to hear what you guys have heard, lies and truths about using credit cards. I will see you guys soon, and make sure to like and subscribe. Bye-bye.